I literally just filmed like half the video and then my camera died and lost all the footage. Okay. Hello pumpkins and welcome back to my channel. Today is tea time number 2 and it is all about how I got into UC Berkeley. I am drinking chamomile with 2 scoops of sugar. And this cup is the cutest. It says, hello fall. I'm going to basically give you the rundown about how I got into UC Berkeley and some useful advice for seniors, juniors, sophomores, freshmen, whatever. I have some advice for any of you in high school trying to get into UC Berkeley. Alright, if you enjoy these videos, then subscribe because I've got a lot more videos coming at you. And follow me on my socials. My Instagram is pretty cool right now, not to toot my own horn, but it's got a nice fall spooky theme going on, so if you like that kind of thing, go ahead and follow me. But without further ado, let us jump into this video. How did I get into UC Berkeley? How did this girl get into UC Berkeley? Let's talk about grades. The first thing, I did have a 4.2 in high school. I took 2 honors classes and my grades in regular classes were always 100%. So I had a 4.2 in high school. That was my weighted GPA from 10 to 11. And my unweighted was 4.0. My SAT score was not that great. My SAT score was a 1080 on the new one, 1080 out of 1600. I'm really not good with tests, but that was that. Extracurriculars, I worked a lot, and I worked a lot because I needed the money. I had lots of reasons for why I needed that money, but I worked a lot. I had about 4 jobs in high school, and I wrote about it in my personal statement because it was something that mattered to me, and it was something that was meaningful and made me the person that I am. And extracurriculars, I danced from 5th to 10th grade. I was in so many dance clubs. I danced performing and like all that kind of stuff, costumes and everything. I had to stop dancing because I had to work. So one of the biggest tips that I can tell you from what I did and what I've seen a lot of others do is stay true to themselves throughout the application process. Oftentimes people just write about what they think they want the admissions people to hear. But let me tell you, there's about 7,000 other applications that are saying the exact same thing as you. So you want to stand out, and the only way to stand out is to be true to yourself and share stories that mean a lot to you, that matter to you, and that you can describe vividly. Because a reader can really tell a story that just seems a little made up or a little shallow versus a story that's coming true from the heart. You do want to get your personal statements checked and revised, and you want to work on those because schools like UC Berkeley really care about the kind of person you are. And I think that's something that a lot of people kind of shoo away because they're like, I've got good grades, I've got a great SAT score, no extracurriculars, and I don't know if I'm that great of a person. And then they're angry when they get a rejection letter. Colleges really do care about who you are, especially UC Berkeley. And I got my essays checked so many times by so many different people, bankers, business owners, my sister, who, shout out to, she's an English major and she tore apart my paper like 70,000 times, and I was so angry with her, but in the end it was worth it because I got it. I think that if you are a junior or a sophomore, I think it's really, really, really important that you do extracurriculars that matter to you. If you're unsure about what you want to do, that's okay. I was unsure too. I didn't realize what I wanted my major to be until I was in the 12th grade, and I was like, I actually have a lot of things like that. Oh my god, I really like this subject, which was biology and chemistry. I'm a intended biochem major, and I worked at the Exploratorium for about 1.5 years. I did honors chemistry, and I wrote a personal statement about biology. So biology was a really, really, really tough class for me because I had never taken a lot of science courses. My school just didn't really have it. Throughout middle school, my science courses were like about tectonic plates and like the earth, and that was not interesting to me at all. And in 9th grade, I had a little bit of everything in my science, but I really liked the ones about like, I really liked when we would talk about like the body. And so then 10th grade comes along and I'm like, biology, what is this? What is biology? Oh my God. And I started freaking out, and I did really bad in the beginning, but I ended up changing it around and I ended up having the best time in biology, and it ended up being one of my favorite subjects. And I wrote about that, and I wrote about how I didn't even know what biology was, and then I took biology and I freaking loved it, and I realized that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to do something in biology. 11th grade year comes, chemistry. Chemistry, I freaking loved it. I never really knew what chemistry was until I took a class. So I just wrote about a lot of things that are really personal to me and that really helped me grow. I also wrote about my struggles. You guys have seen the video of me talking about depression and stuff, and I wrote about that, and I wrote about why it meant so much to me, and I wrote about how it affected me and how I overcame it, okay? So some people want to write these really detailed, descriptive, heart-wrenching stories, and that's great. But at the same time, you want to show them how you overcame that, or how getting into a college will help you overcome that. So when I wrote about my story and everything, half the story was my detailed, very descriptive, very true to all of my stories, and you can really feel that in the writing. And the other half of my story was how I turned it around, and how school really helped me distract myself, and how I knew that through all of the pain and everything that I still had a clear path. I still had a clear set that I wanted to go to college. And I wrote about that, and they obviously liked it. And I just think that people get so stressed out in this college application that they're not staying true to themselves, and that's the biggest tip that I can give you, is to stay true to yourself, because like I said, everybody's writing about the same thing, but your story is going to be different because it's your story. And also extracurriculars are a really big thing. Do a whole bunch, and then if you still don't know what you want to do, that's okay. Write about how it's a struggle and how you just like so much, or how you're interested in other things, and you just do a lot of things that look good, that you're enjoying. So don't just do something because it looks good. Do something because you're enjoying it, and write about why you enjoy it. I got into UC Berkeley, UC Davis, and UC Santa Cruz. And one of the biggest tips that I can give to you is don't be so stressed out about getting into that one perfect school. Always apply to schools that you are going to love. So I obviously my first choice was UC Berkeley, but at the same time I was okay and happy if I got into Davis, and if I didn't get into Berkeley, I would have been okay going to Davis, and I would have been happy there. Same with UC Santa Cruz. I would have been happy there. I would have been happy at UCLA if I got in, and I didn't get into somewhere else, and then I'd have to pick, you know? But don't just apply to schools because it looks good. Actually do your research and figure out, like, do you want to go to the school? Visit the school. Are you going to be happy there? Seniors, please visit the school. If you don't visit the school, then it's kind of like, and you accept just because of the name, and then you go, and then you're like, wow, I'm really bored here, and it's really gonna suck. Just trying to go because it's the #1 school, or because it looks really good, but you have no idea where Berkeley is, and you have no idea what campus life is like. I suggest that you visit the campus. That's like a really big tip that I can give you, is be okay with the other schools that you apply to, because not everybody gets in, and you have to be okay with that. It doesn't mean that you still can't end up there. You can always transfer, you can always do anything else, or it just maybe isn't the right path for you, you know? That's basically everything I did. I really stayed true to myself. I had a lot of extracurriculars, and I wrote about them. I wrote about my struggles. I had a story that was true to who I am. I volunteered. I worked at a science museum. I think that that's the biggest thing that people don't really want to tell you. People don't really want to tell you to stay true to yourself. You know, people want to say like, oh, this looks really good. You really have to insert yourself in the paper, and you have to be willing to be vulnerable, because these people don't know who the heck you are. They really don't. And they don't want to read some shallow paper that's just going to be an easy reject. And that's all I can really give you. That was just what I did. Schools like UC Berkeley really care about your personal statements. And I think a lot of the UCs actually care about your personal statements, except maybe like UCLA or something. At the end of the day, if you don't get into your top choice, that's okay. There's a lot of great schools out there, and you just gotta find them and figure out where your place is. And yeah, if you are a sophomore and you want to get into a UC, or a junior and you want to get into a UC, hit those books. Seniors, don't stress. Pick schools that you actually like. Visit those schools, please. Please visit them. And everything's going to be okay, and you will end up where you're supposed to be. So I hope that helped. I hope I didn't talk too much, and I hope I didn't go off on too many tangents, but can we just please, this is the cutest couple in the world. Yes, I am living on campus, but right now I'm in my room because I live close by, but I am living on campus. I just come home for the weekends. But yeah, so you will definitely be seeing some more of me soon. Follow me on my Instagram and my Twitter. Pretty cool. Ask me questions on Twitter. DM me on Twitter, DM me on Instagram if you need some extra help on college apps or something. I will see you guys in my next video. Thank you so much for watching, and remember, it's Halloween, so have fun and let's get spooky. Bye.